my husband and I had a polarization. With our children, we would often have these thoughts. Now, we wouldn't say them to each other, but they were pretty evident on the face and in the body structure, you know. He would be thinking, well, she can't be very godly. She's so harsh on these children. She just doesn't have any concept of loving them. And I would be thinking, he is such a macho-looking man. How can he be such a wimp? You know, he lets these kids run all over him. What is the problem with this man? You know, doesn't he know that God expects us to raise these kids in godliness, and these kids are absolutely manipulating him? You know, the thing is, I found that every couple is like this. God does this. He makes opposites attract. And he, you know, you have one that's much more on the permissive, kind, you know, let it all hang outside, and you have one that is, we need rules, we need walls, we need some structure here. We need some control side. And that was my side, by the way, in case you didn't know. And as a result of the differences in us, we end up with conflict. If you can think of love and discipline as the phrase loving discipline. And if you can think of it as a scale that balances. And on that scale are two weights. Now, I've made them triangularly shaped because they each have three things that weigh, that add the weight to that side. On the loving side, the way a child is loved develops their sense of significance, their sense of, I am important, I have a purpose in life, I am loved. People that are heavily on the loving side themselves believe that a child will feel secure as long as they love them, and that's a lie. A child will never feel secure if the balance is heavily on the loving side. Security comes from structure. Security comes from fences, from walls, from knowing that there's something between me and the monsters, something that protects me from the monsters attacking me. Let me see if I understand the question. You have a firstborn son who provokes the younger children, and he likes to stir things up. Okay. You must understand birth order and the characteristics of firstborns. Firstborns are the most responsive to the authorities, the parents. They will either be the most rebellious or the most cooperative, but they are the strongest in response. Firstborns love responsibility, although they may tell you they don't. They're very good with responsibility. They carry heavy burdens well, and they are happiest when they're really loaded down. Okay, so when you have a child that's acting out, the very first thing you need to question is, have I filled his love triangle? So really focus on, am I giving these three things? Eye contact, physical touch, focused attention. That would be number one. Number two, being a firstborn, give him jobs. Make him work. Seriously. How old is he? He's 12. Oh my goodness, he needs to work. Okay, but he needs to work in projects with his younger siblings. He needs to have a goal for them. He needs to learn to serve them. So he's got projects that serve them. He needs to teach the younger ones to tie their shoes. He needs to teach them how to make their beds.